New Year's Eve. Anaesthetics. BD0729 from December 31, 1938, taken from book number 15. You must accept every trial and show yourself equal to it. And when the Lord admonishes you to be patient, humbly surrender to His will, for He alone knows what is right for you. At this time, everything on earth is endeavoring to numb itself. Only very few are quietly contemplating themselves and remembering their Creator. And the Lord sees with infinite melancholy the goings-on of His creatures who do not want to miss anything on earth that gives them pleasure and who give away without hesitation the benefits that only benefit the soul. They do not consider that they can stand at the turning point of life. That they can still be in the midst of earthly life today and already stand at the gate to eternity tomorrow, and that they will then leave earthly life barely prepared for eternity. All enjoyment of life must have an unfavorable effect on the soul, and damage is done to the soul to the same extent where the body indulges in the pleasures of life. In a time of uninhibited enjoyment of life, the adversary is granted every power. He can take possession of people's senses and thus have a destructive effect on the soul, and all demons gain influence over it, for the human being is far more inclined to enjoy earthly life to the full than to occupy himself with spiritual things, and the army of spiritual beings in the beyond truly has no easy task if it also wants to exert its influence on the children of earth. True realization holds man back from such unworthy activity, but to find or keep the union with the spiritual world is unspeakably difficult for earthly man. Therefore both the good as well as the bad spiritual beings develop an indescribable activity in order to draw people into their spell, for the evil power certainly has considerable advantage. It retains the upper hand because man's will is too much concerned with matter and only sees his happiness in intoxication and the fulfillment of his desires. All the splendor of the world prevents the inner vivid contemplation of the eternal deity. Man is so far removed from all that is purely spiritual. He stands in darkness, for earthly splendor gives the soul no light. It hungers and starves, even though the body revels in abundance, and there is little chance that in the midst of the hustle and bustle of the world the earthly child will let its thoughts wander upwards and willingly separate itself from the earthly splendor, which is after all only appearance and can offer no advantage to the soul. Who can resist such temptations in time? Who pays attention to bring the light of the soul and willingly lets the body do without, will visibly stand in blessing, because the spiritual beings are extremely willing to serve such endeavorers. They strengthen every still weak power, help the struggling soul, and from seemingly uselessly spent hours such great advantages arise for the soul that man only wins where the body denies itself joy and pleasure in worldly relationship. For the happiness of the soul stands above all earthly joy of the body. But this is incomparably more valuable than the hours of unclouded enjoyment of life, for the latter is transient, but the former endures for all eternity. Amen.